everyone, Katima here. Nice to see you again. So I'm making this video today, as you can already tell by the title. Today, I'm letting you know my truth, my testimony. I have to get this out. It's been a day. God told me exactly what he wanted me to do. And I don't want to say I was fumbling, but it's, you know, I think that just being honest in general with yourself and with other people, it can be extremely hard. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you know. So a little bit about my past is I grew up in a church. I grew up, I don't know, maybe I was 3. I believe I was 3. I started, excuse me, I started at this church, and I was there up until I got married. Yes, up until I got married. The gist of my church experiences, I went to Sunday school. I was in children's choir. I did youth ministry. I evangelized. And I was definitely what we would call a holy roller. Yes. And not the horrible part, but you know, maybe. No, definitely not. But it was fun. From what I remember, I had a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions about God that were not answered. If I did ask, you kind of got a answer like, it was like surface, you know what I mean? It was one of those answers that just kind of kept you asking more questions and was like, okay, well, what about this? Well, this doesn't make any sense. And it just never made any sense, okay? Never made any sense. But I was faithful because I know I loved God, and I still do. And then after, when I became a teenager and after I graduated from high school is when I started to question, and since the answers weren't there, or what I thought was not there, I began to rebel as far as, well, God, I don't understand why people treat me like this. I don't understand why, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, God, you said that, you know, I know you're faithful, and I know that you would never allow people to do this to you or to anybody and just let them just get away with it. Like, that hurt me. Like, how can you, as God, be all-knowing, all-powerful, and you just sit over here and let this person just abuse this kid like this, or do what you think is abuse to this child? And I just could not take it. I couldn't. I just really couldn't deal. So I was like, well, I'm angry at God. And I was angry at God for a couple years. I was angry at him because I was like, well, I just really don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The God that I serve is a forgiving God, and he, you know, he won't let people do this to you, and you just look, and they just keep doing it, and you have no type of relief. It was intense. It was so intense. So time went past. We ended up moving to New York. I was in solitude, and as far as, we didn't know anybody there. This is not New York, New York. This is upstate New York, like an hour or 2 away from Canada. So I didn't know anybody. Most of the people there didn't look like me. And it was definitely a culture shock. it was a culture shock, and I was not ready, but I did transition. And I believe we stayed there for almost 3 years. Yeah, almost 3 years. And I had my kid there, and I was still trying to seek God, you know, trying to get these questions answered. And I did not. But I believe that God took me to a place where I didn't know anybody, so that I could find him. No, he did not leave me. I will say that he did not leave me. I was still angry at this point, and I was still angry. But what ended up happening is I prayed, and I was like, okay, God, well, I need you to get my husband out of the military, because I just really can't. We can't do this, because he was going to deploy, and I was going to be by myself, and I had already had abandonment issues from other life situations, and just trying to overcome all of that. And I feel like I just had all this baggage. I felt so weighed down, and I felt so out of place and unwanted that I pushed everybody away. Yeah, I pushed everybody away. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to be bothered. I would barely answer my phone. And we moved back to Virginia, or we moved back to the DMV area, and we live in Virginia now. And with 3 months, 1 month, I found another job, and things were going well, and you know, I was just excited. I started to get back in church, and you know, it was just so many good things. And then I got sick. And I was not able to eat for a couple of days. Like, my stomach would not allow me to eat anything. Previously, before my husband, or while he was in basic, I had stopped, and I became a pescatarian for a couple months. Almost 2 years, actually. 2 years. For 2 years, I was a pescatarian. I didn't eat any meat. I just ate vegetables and grains and fruit, and just fish. And it was beautiful. My health was awesome. I was able to work out. Okay, fast forward back to where we were. We moved to Woodbridge. I started working at barbershop, and it was long hours. I was a little stressed out. I had a lot of stuff going on. I was emotionally drained from just life, marriage, you know, other personal relationships, parents, just drained. Everybody, it felt like I just could not get a break. And that's when my health declined, and I could not eat. It felt like every time I ate, it would just sit on top of my stomach. And so I was like, okay, something has to give. Somebody gave me some medicine, and I was good to go. And then quarantine hit, right? So quarantine hit, and I had to be here with my family. And I'm assuming that a lot of moms and wives understand what I'm saying when I say that it hits differently when you are stuck in the house with your family. Like, not taking anything away from the beautifulness of it, but when you're not used to spending that much time with people that you have not been completely honest with, it is not okay. I will say that. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and not liking myself, not liking what I saw, and just being extremely insecure about how my hair was, or just in general. I just did not like myself at all. I just did not. And some days, you know, some days I didn't want to be here. I did not want, I just wanted to give up. And then I asked God to free me from whatever this was. Like, I just want to be free. Like, I can't do this life anymore. This is draining. I don't want to feel so hurt. And I just didn't want to be there anymore. So time goes on. I was like, okay, well, you know, I did ask God. I asked him to help me to be freer, and you know, and he definitely did that. And then a situation came up where I felt left out and abandoned, like, and it triggered me to have a breakdown. I stopped answering my phones. I just could not take it from anybody. I just really couldn't. I was on edge. It was definitely a changing point, because I think that's when Hamilton came out. And I don't know, you know, people are different. Everybody gets different things, you know, everybody's perspective is different. But in my opinion, Hamilton helped me. His story did, because he loved God, and God told him he had to be honest with himself. And I don't agree that he should have not fought in the battle, but I believe that that sometimes you just don't have any more fight in you. You don't have any more fight in you, and you're like just done. You just can't do it anymore. So you just can't. You're done fighting.